Maria and I were inseparable. We met in kindergarten, bonded over a shared love of peanut butter sandwiches, and the rest is history. We were the kind of best friends who could read each other's minds. We knew each other's deepest secrets, biggest dreams, and worst fears. We were two halves of the same whole. At least that's how it felt until high school. High school brought a lot of changes. Suddenly there were boys, parties, and a whole lot of drama. Maria blossomed. She got tall, her hair got blonder, and her smile could light up a room. I, on the other hand, stayed pretty much the same. Same height, same mousy brown hair, same awkwardness. Don't get me wrong, I was happy for Maria. Seeing her happy made me happy. But a small part of me, a part I didn't want to acknowledge, started to feel a twinge of something ugly. It started with a whisper, just a small comment from a classmate about how gorgeous Maria was and how I was lucky to be friends with her. It felt like a punch to the gut. Lucky. Was that how people saw me? Just the plain friend of the beautiful one? Maria and I were at the mall trying on clothes. I held up a dress, a bright red number that I thought looked hideous on me. "What do you think?" I asked, hoping for her usual reassurance that it wasn't that bad. Instead, she gave me a sympathetic smile. "It's cute," she said, but her voice lacked its usual enthusiasm. "But you know, you'd look even better in something blue. It would really bring out your eyes." I knew she was trying to be helpful, but her words stung. It was like she was saying, "You could never pull off that dress, but at least you can try to look somewhat presentable." I went home that day feeling deflated. The worst part? I couldn't even talk to Maria about it. How could I tell my best friend that her beauty was making me feel insecure? It felt selfish and small. So I kept it bottled up inside, letting the resentment fester. It wasn't just clothes. It was everything. Boys, teachers, even strangers seemed drawn to Maria's orbit. I became known as Maria's friend. My own identity felt lost in her shadow. I started avoiding social gatherings, making excuses about why I couldn't go out. The truth was, I couldn't bear to see the way people looked at her, the way they gravitated towards her. I hated the way my stomach twisted with envy every time a guy's eyes lingered on her for a beat too long. I hated myself for feeling this way. Maria was my best friend, and I was supposed to be happy for her. But the green-eyed monster of jealousy had sunk its claws into me, and I didn't know how to shake it off. Section 4. Running from my feelings. Literally. I started running. A lot. Every morning before school, I'd lace up my sneakers and pound the pavement, trying to outrun the negative thoughts swirling in my head. It helped for a while. The endorphins, the fresh air, the feeling of my body getting stronger, it all provided a temporary escape from the turmoil inside. I also started seeing a therapist. Talking to someone about the tangled mess of emotions I was feeling was terrifying, but also liberating. It helped me understand that my feelings of jealousy were valid, even if they were uncomfortable. The therapist helped me see that my self-worth wasn't tied to Maria's beauty, and that I needed to focus on my own strengths and accomplishments. It was a slow process, but with each therapy session, I felt a sliver of my old self returning. Section 5. A friendship on pause. Despite the therapy and the running, the dynamic between Maria and me had shifted. I was withdrawn, irritable, and quick to snap at her. She, in turn, seemed confused and hurt by my sudden change in behavior. One day, after a particularly nasty argument about something trivial, I decided I couldn't do it anymore. I needed space. Space to work through my own issues without dragging her down with me. "I need a break," I told her, my voice shaking. "I love you, but I need to figure some things out on my own." She looked at me, her eyes filled with hurt and confusion, but she didn't try to stop me. And so we went our separate ways for a while. Section 6. Jealousy, the green-eyed monster under my bed. It's been a few months since Maria and I took a break from our friendship. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but it was also the best. The time apart allowed me to focus on myself, to confront my insecurities and work through them. I realized that my jealousy stemmed from my own fear of inadequacy, not from anything Maria had done. I learned that true friendship isn't about competition, but about celebrating each other's strengths and supporting each other through weaknesses. I still have moments of insecurity, but now I have the tools to deal with them in a healthy way. I'm slowly rebuilding my friendship with Maria, this time with a stronger foundation of self-love and acceptance. And you know what? It feels good. It feels real.